Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics, and today's going to be a good day. I am once again on a comic book crawl with my friends from Three Men in a Basement. This is when we get a big group of comic collectors together, and as a group, we go to a whole bunch of different comic stores that are close to one another and hunt for comic books. And it's a great time hanging out with other collectors, seeing what we can find and getting great deals. But I'm really excited about today because the first stop is Richards Comics in Hudson, New Hampshire. I've been here one other time on a comic book crawl. Not only do they have amazing stuff and great prices, I heard they got a huge collection in. So follow me along on this awesome comic hunting day, guys. Should be a great one. All right, we get some comics in the hall. I'll come back for this. That's right, this place has some amazing toys. So we have cheaper books here in these back rooms. And this is the main store. Look at this place. Cool. That's actually really neat.
Yes. I love it. Well, it's just like there's no easy way to like.
So much cool stuff hidden in this place, every nook and cranny. How's it going?
How you doing?
What's Carlos got? Up. You found some 3D Rocketeer.
Never saw this.
It's not a Stevens cover. It's cool though.
It's a Neil Adams cover, is it?
Is it?
I don't know. Adams?
Yeah, look, it is Neil Adams. Yep.
That's cool. I never
Awesome.
saw this before.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though.
Very cool. I'm jealous you got it instead of me. That's cool. Unfortunately, it's like a mouse. Also thought it was cool.
Reprinted the cover.
Man, that's come down in value, huh?
That's a better copy. Yeah, that's definitely a better copy. It's a cheap book too. It's not expensive.
So I recently talked about this book on my channel, First Full Court of Owls, and I don't know what if there's a sale going on or not, but that's not a bad price for this. It's cheaper than I bought it for.
What's happening? No player. Congrats, dude.
I know for a fact there's some good stuff down here on the bottom if you're willing to dig.
Good to see you. All right, good job.
Ms. Otto just walked in. Hey Otto, what's up?
Hey, look at it. Already filming. What's up?
What's going on?
Here we are.
You got to film first before
What are we finding? The deals already?
No, I'm just filming B footage until you came in. I want to make sure I didn't cut you off and get all the good stuff, you know?
Yeah, right.
So this is a pretty cool book. Talked about it on my channel. I've owned this book in the past, but a couple cool claims to fame here. There's actually a Robert E. Howard story in here that is the first utterance of Shuma-Gorath, the name, which would later be a character in Doctor Strange comics, of course. And there's also a Jim Starlin story in here where he shows the first personification of death. So a very, very cool comic book. Fun little history. All right, let's do some digging here. Look at that. Another copy. Much worse condition.
So we paid more than that for the lot. Okay.
Good run of Avengers. And these are grouped together. So we have the whole Storm and Ileana series. That's cool.
Very good chunk. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you get 59,000.
Second Echo, first cover. First James Rhodes as War Machine. Cool Captain Marvel cover. Number 3, all green. Love green covers. Very cool.
Yeah. Right by. I was in the same boat, man.
Not the best Dark Side cover by Kirby. Second Rocketeer. That's a cool cover.
Half the time, man, when I do
Take the box and I take it. I don't want it. Like, I don't want any of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How are we doing a giveaway?
We'll wait till more people are here, and I don't know. We'll just
I brought,
I'll do a spin a wheel or something.
yeah, but did you say for 3 stops then?
Yeah, 1 for each stop. Yeah.
Oh, they're doing.
Right, but if you go to all 3 stops, you're entering in.
Yeah. So basically, whoever comes to dinner is at Jason's. We'll do
Is that a Displacer Beast?
at Jason's. So
Or you D&D fans? It looks a lot like a Displacer Beast.
I got it.
Mixed with X-Men's The Beast.
I brought raffle tickets.
Oh, that works.
One sided one,
There's a local
single
place
one.
Star
right
Trek.
Hartford,
Like every
Okay.
stop you give them,
called Joey
and when they
Garland.
get
It's a
the 3 of them, they get it.
Oh, that's great.
And stuff like that. So,
Paulo Rivera cover.
No, I teach high school.
It's awesome.
Bartending's always been my
One I
part
ended up with at
forever.
the-
And they weren't getting along with the owner.
There you go.
And
First Black
we
Orchid.
had
Love this
salad
cover.
bar, we had banquet rooms. It was
Actually,
very
not a
interesting,
bad price
you
for
know.
this condition.
And
It was unsolved.
well,
So uncivilized.
So many cool toys I've never seen before. You know what? This actually comes with the trade paperback of the story, which I've been meaning to read. You know, I don't need the mask, but I mean, it's a cool prop, and I want to read it anyways. Maybe. You know what? I do not have the Magneto figure from the 90s. That might be a buy right there. Just compare, see which one I like better. Well, the sticker makes this an easier choice. This one's on the plastic, and that one is on the card. So, plastic it is. So all of these side rooms here have even cheaper comic books for digging. Hey, Spidey. So I'm going to start going through here a little bit. You never know. Last year, a buddy of mine, Murph, actually found in one of these boxes a Uncanny X-Men book signed by John Byrne, and he gave it to me. One of the best gifts I ever got, and it was found for $1 in one of these boxes. So you never know, guys. So I found down below here a whole bunch of Grimjacks by First Comics, and one of these issues here is number 26, which has some significance with the Ninja Turtles. And 25, 26, there it is. It's $1. I think that's a good deal for this book. The hunting down here is insane. I mean, I haven't even filmed 90% of me going through all these boxes because it's just, it goes and goes and goes. It's easier for me just to dig with 2 hands and go quick. But man, you could spend a day and a half going through all this stuff.
yeah.
And out here in the hallway is actually a different vendor. Hey guys.
What's up?
Good digging out here?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, I gotta make an attempt to sneak in here. Last year I found some awesome stuff out here. So these books out here are owned by Modern Bard Comics, and yeah, last year I found some just awesome deals in these boxes. So worth a look.
What you guys think of the Fantastic Four trailer? Did you guys like it?
Definitely,
I'm indifferent. I don't know what to think of it.
I liked it.
I'm just so expecting it to be another bad Fantastic Four movie that I'm just a pessimist.
They nailed
He's so
the
scorned.
the aesthetic's so
Roger's
good though.
scorned
I do
from
like
it
it.
for the past 2 years, from the past movies.
Ghost. Yeah, the aesthetic is really good though. They nailed it.
The quality looks top tier.
Yeah.
Story remains to be
do
seen, but the
like-
quality looks
Comic accurate Galactus. Come on.
I do like that. What's his face doesn't sound like a raspy voice. Like it's real voice. Like,
Oh, dang. Galactus looked a little short though.
Well, he can change his size. Remember, Galactus can change his size to be whatever he wants. There'll be times where he's really big, times he can be really small. There you go. First Gwen Stacy cover. Not in great shape, but it's cool. Oh, neat.
Yeah, at least he looks like Galactus and he's not a black cloud.
That's true.
Right.
Anything's better than a black.
That's the lowest bar for them to clear, I feel like. Just don't do that.
Just don't do that again. Everything you've done already, don't do it.
Don't, yeah, right. As long as it's different.
I'm having a tough time getting excited about it for sure.
Does that come out this year? In the summer, right?
In the summer. Yeah, there's I didn't realize there was like really good books in here. Wow, that's high grade. Decent for what that is. Second master mold. Oh, it's like this cover too. Whoa. It's cool. It's really cool. First Winter Soldier, book I've been eyeing for a while, and they're offering cheaper prices at the register, so if I can get a good deal on this, it might be worth picking up. What do we have here?
Those,
Yeah, I'm not going with them. I'm going to meet them down there though.
and they're like the nicest.
Really neat.
That's what it says. Yeah.
They were set up next to me at
Will Eisner? Wow.
and we just like.
So here we go. We have The Spirit. This is Will Eisner. This came out of the Star Ledger out of Newark, New Jersey in 1941. This is awesome. Look at this.
Like a little lighter. It's a little lighter.
This is The Spirit. I don't even know what's going on here, but this is unique and cool, and I like my old periodicals, especially from World War II era. This is awesome. Yeah, I gotta get it. All right, Chinmo, what did you get? Let's see.
Picking up Nova number 8,
First Cosmo.
and Nowhere.
These are.
First Miss Marvel,
Wow, where'd you find that?
right on the bins outside.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
First Her,
Yep.
first Alicia. I love these, the Walmarts. The-
Oh yeah, no, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're actually great to read.
Oh, they are.
Thank you.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And
You get
then
another whole pile over there.
whole other pile. You have to get a toy.
You have to get a toy at this place.
get a toy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then you know,
Oh, you hit the Star Wars box.
all
Yeah.
Star Wars, all Star Wars with it.
Can't get to where like. Hours
You did see that. Yeah, that was cool.
Nice high grade.
Yeah, it is high grade.
And then a book I have
Oh yeah.
a real affinity for, Booster Gold.
Oh, you got a deal on that too.
Oh yeah. And then even more Star Wars. I think this whole stack is Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I recognize. I'm not a huge Star Wars collector, but I recognize so many of these covers because they're just great.
It's a run I've been trying to build for years, and they're always too expensive. And for $6 and $8 and $10
Yeah,
a
oh,
piece, absolutely.
Awesome.
One time I had this insert.
It's great.
Never mind the discount you're gonna get.
Plus a discount.
Yes, plus a discount.
Yeah, very happy.
Yeah.
And then found a nice
Oh,
little
cool.
Scotty Young cover as well.
There you go.
And what I got at the end? Oh, more Star Wars.
Oh, more Star Wars. Shocker.
And Turtles. You gotta have
And you got a
Turtles.
Turtles
You
Star
gotta
Wars,
have
man.
Turtles.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm happy. And this is just stop number 1.
It's just stop number
Just
one.
stop number one.
That's what's so dangerous about these crawls.
We got stop number 2 in a little bit. Stop number 3 after. Plus, you know, Noah's buying dinner. So
Oh,
it's okay.
Kinsey. Awesome.
Noah's buying dinner.
Thanks, Noah.
All about
Appreciate
that
it. Appreciate it.
No one's buying dinner. All right.
All right, guys, that was a fantastic first stop on this comic book crawl. As you saw in the footage, it's a really cool store full of lots of interesting things, and I got a great stack of loot I'm pretty excited about. Also, I got a fantastic deal on it. They were giving some really good discounts at the cash register. But the day's just begun. Right now, we're heading over to our second location, which is Counterplay Comics in Burlington, Massachusetts. Last time I went to this place, they had absolutely epic $3 comic book boxes. We were all blown away. We have a big convoy of cars heading down there right now, so I'll meet you guys there. So obviously this is not Counterplay Comics in Burlington, Massachusetts. I did go. However, while I was editing the video, I realized, and I should have seen this coming, I had way too much good footage, too many cool comic books to show off and talk about. I couldn't possibly fit it all in one video, so I have to split it into 2 parts, which is exactly what I did for the other comic crawl videos. So this is part 1, which will just be that Richards Comics, and stay tuned for part 2 on the channel very soon. So there you go. That was once again a comic book crawl put on by my friends, the 3 Men in a Basement. I've covered several of these crawls on my channel in the past. The concept's pretty much the same. You get a whole bunch of comic collectors together to go to a lot of different comic shops in rough, close proximity to one another. And it's just a really fun way to pal around with fellow collectors, find some really cool stuff. The biggest reason to do it, however, is to support these brick and mortar establishments. In a lot of cases, these are the local comic book shops of the people organizing the trips, whether it's down in Connecticut, up in the North Shore of Massachusetts, down near Rhode Island, southern New Hampshire. They do them all over New England to support as many different shops as possible. That's the real reason that we do it. And as sort of a thank you, they tend to give some good sales or discounts at the cash register. I've mentioned this on the other crawls, guys, and I'm going to reiterate it right now. Anyone can go on these comic book crawls. You don't have to be a content creator to get these great deals. 3 Men in a Basement makes a big deal about it, on their channel. They mention it every time they're going to do it. And most of the people on the crawl do not make any comic book content online whatsoever. So if you're interested in going to one of these, absolutely follow 3 Men in a Basement on Instagram and on YouTube, guys, especially if you're in New England. Even New York, you can probably make the trip up. They are a whole lot of fun. So there were 3 different comic shops on this comic crawl, plus dinner planned afterwards. Because of family obligations, I couldn't make the dinner or the last stop. That last stop was Little Giant Comics in Lawrence, Massachusetts. This is a store I've wanted to go to for a while. They're the organizers of the big old school comic show up in Concord, New Hampshire I go to every year. It's absolutely awesome. They recently got a new location in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I still haven't been. I really want to go, but if you want to check it out, what it was like, definitely follow the other people that were on this crawl. Yes, of course, 3 Men in a Basement, but also Noah from Broke Boy Comics and Carlos from Los's Comic Journey. I'm pretty sure they went to those last locations as well, guys, and they're great comic book YouTubers in their own right. Check them out, see what those stores were all about, see what they picked up, and hey, maybe they even have some pictures and footage of the dinner afterwards, which can get kind of wild. So I only went to the first 2 locations, but still, guys, I got some great stuff at some definite lunch money comics prices. So before I show you what I got, if you like this sort of stuff and you want to support the channel, yeah, you can like, comment, subscribe, and all that to my channel, but instead, I would rather you follow the people that I just mentioned, 3 Men in a Basement on Instagram and YouTube, Broke Boy Comics and Los's Comic Journey. I'll put a link to them all down in my description. If you like my channel, you will definitely like their content, guys. They're fantastic comic book content creators. So that first location you saw was Richards Comics in Hudson, New Hampshire. There's actually 2 vendors there, Richards Comics and Modern Bard Comics. And, Modern Bards set their stuff up in the hallway, and you kind of have to keep separate piles when you're hunting. The guy working there, Jim, great guy, was giving some fantastic discounts at the counter. So as I go through all of this stuff, I'll tell you the sticker price they were asking, but just know I got it for about 25-30% off from even that. And you saw in that footage, guys, all sorts of awesome stuff in there, right? All sorts of eclectic things, toys, vintage stuff. I did get a few non-comic book items. Let's start with this one. You saw there was a ton of toys there. This, of course, is a Magneto figure from 1993. You guys can't see it, but above my top row of comics behind me, I have a whole bunch of these early 90s X-Men figures lining up near the ceiling. I had a couple of them when I was a kid, never could afford to have a lot of them, so now that I have disposable income, I can relive my childhood. I've been picking all these up. I didn't have the Magneto yet. If you ever watch me on a live stream where I have my computer camera, you can see the whole wall. Definitely keep your eyes open. You can see all the figures up there. I got to find a spot for this because it's getting pretty tight up there. Sticker price $15, so I got it for about $10, which I think is great. The other thing I got that's really interesting is this. So, this is actually a trade paperback. This is the Batman Volume 2 of the New 52, this, series by Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Jonathan Glapion. I've mentioned this series several times on my channel this year already because a lot of my friends told me it is fantastic, recommended and almost required reading. So I picked up a couple of key issues in this run, but I wanted to read it. Well, and here we have the first volume, the first 6 issues of that run. But of course, you also get a mask of the Court of Owls. One of the big claims to fame of that storyline is that it introduces us to the secret society, the Court of Owls, and they wear these creepy masks as, secret societies are wont to do. I thought this was pretty cool because I want to read the trade paperback anyways. I got this. Of course, a friend of mine literally like 2 days before I got this gave me the first 2 volumes to borrow, to read. So I didn't actually need to buy this, but the price was right, guys. The sticker price was $17. It retailed at $25. With a discount, I got it for about $10. It's a cool prop. It looks pretty neat. I don't think I'm going to crack it open. My daughter, when she saw this, she's like, Dad, that's so creepy. Put it on. Maybe I'll put it on and start my own secret society down here in the basement. Most likely, I'll put it on a shelf somewhere. Let me know if you think I should open this up. I know what you guys are going to say. I don't even know why I asked that. I think I'm going to keep it in the box. It's pretty cool. All right, comic books. So this first one, this is definitely not an expensive comic book, but it's kind of cool. So this is Grimjack number 26. It's from, 1986. 86. So Grimjack was published by First Comics. It was created by John Ostrander, who I know from his work on the Spectre series in the 90s. And yeah, Grimjack is sort of the nom de guerre of a mercenary who lives in this city that's at like the nexus of different realities and parallel dimensions. And because of its location, he can go on all sorts of fun, cool adventures. But there's something else kind of going on in this. One of the bars in this city is called Munden's Bar, and it ended up being like a major location in the stories. And then eventually, in these comics, sort of had their own separate story where a different, comic book character could kind of go and hang out at this bar. And because of its, multi-dimensional place, there could be anybody from anywhere. And in this issue, they are visited by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, this is cool for several reasons. One, remember, this is 1986, very early Ninja Turtles. Also, you see it's in color. Most of the Ninja Turtles for a long time in those early 80s were published in black and white, so this is one of the earliest color Ninja Turtle stories. And the best part, this was actually written by and penciled by Eastman and Laird, creators of the Ninja Turtles. So it's just a cool little footnote, guys. Kind of fun that they could make like a cameo in this comic book. And if you are a TMNT fan, guys, if you're a completionist, this is definitely a fun book to pick up. Best part, a really cheap book. I got it for $1. You can find this book in 25-cent bins, guys. I find it all the time. Keep your eyes open for it, guys. It's a fun little cheap comic to add to your collection. Next up, we have this. I know nothing about this book. Next to nothing. This is X-Men Colossus Bloodline. So this is a storyline from 2005-2006 by David Hine and Jorge Lucas about the big man himself of the X-Men, Colossus, of course. This is a big square-bound story. I don't know if it's a standalone. I don't know if this is like the first volume of the story. As an X-Men fan, as a Colossus fan, I was just curious about it, so I had to pick it up. It was in the $2 bin. Totally worth that. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever read this before. This is really cool. We have this. This is the Rocketeer #1 published by IDW in 2023. And this is a special Adam Hughes 1-10 variant cover. Virgin variant, no title on it. And I just thought it was absolutely awesome, guys. I've mentioned on my channel in the past, I'm a big Rocketeer fan. I like Dave Stevens, and I think, Adam Hughes is definitely one of the best artists working today. Awesome cover. Thought it was great. Sticker price $10, which was actually the retail price on this originally for this variant. So happy to pick this one up. Okay, this next book. First and foremost, I fully acknowledge there are symbols of hate on the cover of this comic book. In no way, shape, or form does Lunch Money Comics endorse any of these symbols of hate. I think that should be obvious in the context of this comic book, in the period it takes place in. I think it'll make sense. It's the internet, guys. I feel like I have to mention that because the book is this. This is Captain America #6 from 2005. This is from the very acclaimed run by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting that introduced us to the Winter Soldier. In the very first issue of this run, you have a cameo appearance of the Winter Soldier in his first full appearance in this one right here. Now, most people know that the Winter Soldier is actually Bucky Barnes, whose first appearance, of course, was Captain America Comics #1. But he was basically, killed off in the Golden Age, and he made his reappearance alive 50 years later in this storyline. And I think everyone knows who the Winter Soldier is these days because of the MCU. And Sebastian Stan, the actor, does a fantastic job with him. Pretty much a household name, right? And I've never owned this book before. Best part about this one, guys, this book is perfect. It is absolutely flawless. I won't say a 9.8, I'll say a 9.6 to be conservative, but I'll eat my hat if it's not a 9.6. Beautiful book. Sticker price was originally $65. I got it somewhere around, I think, $40, $45, the final price. Great book, guys. I like Winter Soldier. He's a very cool character, and he's still showing up in the MCU and all that. So, pretty neat. The last book I got at this first place is definitely something different. You saw it in the footage. It's this. So, I've mentioned on my channel a million times that I'm a big history buff. I love antiques, and I really love old periodicals. Not just comic books, but also newspapers and magazines. And this is a perfect cross-section of all of those. This is a Spirit comic book. The Spirit, of course, was done by Will Eisner starting in 1940. Will Eisner, by the way, one of the most famous cartoonist comic book creators of all time. Not only are there awards named after him, the Comic Book Hall of Fame is named after him. He's a pretty big deal, and The Spirit is very famous. But The Spirit was not published in comic book form at first. Instead, they were inserted into Sunday newspapers, and that's exactly what this is. This was inserted into the Star Ledger of Newark, New Jersey in 1941. You see right here, the comic book section. I think this is absolutely awesome, guys. Again, as a history buff, this is during World War II. It's just a really, really neat idea that it came in a newspaper. It's sort of that lower paper quality you find in newspapers. I thought it was awesome, guys, and it is sort of a full comic book done by Will Eisner. Pretty awesome. Now, I do want to point out the condition. You see on the right-hand side here, on my left, your right, you see there's a page that looks kind of damaged. That's kind of misleading because this page is actually longer than all the other ones for some reason. It's sticking out further, and that's why it kind of got damaged. The rest of this book is pristine. I think it was, pressed between some other, newspapers or books or magazines. It's beautiful, actually. Very readable. So I thought this was really, really cool. I think the sticker price was, $20, $25 on it. I got it cheaper than that. Awesome, unique find. You never know what you're going to find in stores like this, guys. And when I saw this, I had to have it. It's a great cover. It's a great cover as well. So how much did I spend for all of these, guys? Well, I think this rang up somewhere close to like $130 for all of this stuff. And Jim checked me out. I think it was $85 is what it ended up being, which I think is a great deal. And again, everyone was getting discounts like that, maybe even better discounts than what I got. So if you ever have a chance to check out this store, guys, Richards Comics in Hudson, New Hampshire, it's an awesome store. It's wild. You can dig there forever and find all sorts of cool stuff. Definitely worth a trip if you're ever in the area. So there you go, guys. That was part 1 of the winter comic crawl with my friends, 3 Men in a Basement. Just at that first stop, I got some pretty cool stuff at some great prices. My favorite one is definitely this Spirit newspaper insert. But head on down to the comments and let me know which of my pickups was your favorite and did I pay a fair price. And in the meantime, keep hunting for comic books in strange and unusual places. Or if it's not a strange place like a comic shop, make sure you're with some strange and unusual friends. It makes it a lot more fun. Thank you guys so much for watching and look for part 2 on the channel very, very soon.